StarCraft. In the top left-hand corner, the blue Zerg, representing Dragon ByuN Gaming. This is Dark. And he takes on the red Terran in the bottom right corner of the map from the Shopify Rebellion, ByuN. As these two have a bit of chitter-chatter, start the game. We got this TvZ Grand Final underway. Thanks for sticking with us during a little bit of the break, guys. We appreciate it. And ByuN going to start off with the low ground. Maybe this is why Dark picked. He's like, you know what? If you're going to do this multi-racks Reaper thing, let's just get out of the way already. Let's just start with it and just get through it, you know. Let's just get on with it. Come on, do it. And ByuN's like, okay, I'll do it. Fine. All right. Gas pool opening from Dark, and at this point you just know ByuN, Maru, they're going to do this build on this map, so if Dark has a way to respond to this, we'll see what it is. I mean, gas pool immediately seems like he has a plan, seems like he probably thinks about the idea of going straight into a roach roaring or so, get some roaches across and try and fight with that potentially, so we'll see what will happen. Dark saying it seems like Terran is easy to play, probably because ByuN is talking so much. As you chat this like this while playing. Nice. Dark gonna play so fast I'll finish off your wrists. You just click the overload away and then go AFK. Yeah. Shout out to Maddox translating for us as we do have a couple Reapers coming up. Dark saying that ByuN's in a good mood. ByuN has been in a good mood, making great jokes. It is obviously these Reapers, and it is just Link Speed actually, but we're continuing to mine gas as well, so we're going to have Link Speed plus whatever else he wants to build here, which could be a Baneling Nest for a Bane Burst. That would be kind of wild. Obviously a Roadrun on a follow-up maybe. I mean, you're mining a lot of gas. Super fast lair doesn't really seem like it makes a lot of sense. Ripper hops up, obviously seeing that this is a pool first timing. He's going to check, and he's going to see all the gas mined as well. Okay, this is interesting, because if I see all that gas mined right now, and don't see the spawning pool, my assumption is probably he's on his way to roaches. But actually, he does have Link Speed on the way, and ByuN did not go close enough to the spawning pool to actually see the Link Speed building on the spawning pool. To see the Link Speed, the spawning pool doing the little upgrade wiggle. So I wonder if ByuN maybe preps this, as though he's playing against roaches, when in fact he's just playing against super fast Link Speed. It honestly doesn't look like Dark wants to do anything overly fancy. I mean, he's stacking up a lot of gas, but he's just making Lings. Link Speed about to finish up in a moment or two. Seeing our few Reapers continue to move around a little bit. There is the Roach Roar now coming down. It's kind of a pretty delayed Roach Roar, right? Just like a lot of gas stacked up. When he does get the Roach Roar up, he can build a lot of roaches all at once. Roach Roar coming up. Few Lings continue in. Just seeing our Reaper's just going to pop the Queen back a little bit. Trying to get that Creep Tumor. Still trading with the Lings quite nicely with just these first few Reapers. ByuN did go 2 more barracks behind this, by the way, so he's going to have a ton of bio units. It's actually interesting because a lot of these aggressive builds from the Zerg side of things are oftentimes going to come in and be like, hey, can we actually overwhelm, can we overwhelm the Terran army? Well, the barracks going up to 4 already and having a lot of bio on the way, it might not be as easily overwhelmed. We'll see. Bunker starts up behind the barracks here. There's a lot of Marines. Obviously, you do want to protect your stim pack. It would be a real shame to lose that. As our stim and combat shield continues up, our roaches continue through, and just seeing our Marines dealing with a few Lings at the front as well. Marines continuing out. Lings get pushed back away to the right-hand side again. Bunker a few moments from completing here. And our Lings, you're just going to run forward. I mean, the bunker's done. Stim's going to be done for this fight as well. And combat shield's also about... I actually don't know if Dark's going to succeed with this. I mean, he's going for a lot of roaches, though, which might be the secret to success. It's not like this is just like a, super fast roach run. and then just go. He's got a lot of Roach Ravager, so maybe it is enough to stand strong against this. We'll begin to go after the initial add-ons here as ByuN holds back. Supply blocked, actually. 2 more depots on the way, so he was expecting this. We'll see, just slow down his production just a little bit, using this bunker as a holding ground. We will have the Lings at some point of this likely ready to flood in. Can we get this Marauder finish? Probably before this barracks goes down. More Ravagers morphing, so it's mostly going to be about those Ravagers, and if the Lings can surround the Marines, and obviously the Ravagers can throw some bile into the center of them. A couple of biles here will get some SCVs, netting some kills, and Dark still just spamming units. He is ready to just come across the map and just really try and kill ByuN off. No hesitation, no thoughts about going into a more macro-focused game. The Ravager's not enough to take the bunker down. Still, I imagine we want to take this bunker down before we try for everything else here. This time the bunker will fall. We get the Marines out of it. SCVs are going to pull in, so ByuN's going to give up SCVs for this. The Lings run in. Obviously, stimmed bio units will move back against the biles. We kind of run back forward very quickly, but now it's just Ravagers. Ravagers are pretty flimsy. Do they die quickly enough? 24 SCVs died. Kind of a weird position we end up in. I think the problem is going to be, if Dark keeps building units, is that ByuN doesn't have a lot of HP on his units, and that eventually Lings might just be able to trade very well against the low HP units. See this Ravager getting picked off, though, and for the moment, ByuN has actually killed off this attack of Dark. He has done it, and equal work is obviously turns out pretty good for him, too. He's going to scan for this Overlord also. Okay, ByuN. I was worried that he was just going to have too few units and low HP units as well, but the Lings do not have enough numbers to keep on going here, and now Dark is going to focus on drones. And ByuN is going to keep on building units as well, so credit to ByuN, man. He's going to get this into a good position. And Dark, third hatchery now building, the drones on the way. He was very committed to this. The third hatchery especially, right, is a pretty big factor. Let's just see the couple of add-ons coming down again, a couple of reactors already being added on, +1 attack upgrade on that engineering bay also coming up. We scan into the natural. Obviously, ByuN wants a rough idea of what he might be attacking into. Even just threatening the move out like this, though, from ByuN, I like a lot because it does allow for him to kind of say, hey, look, Dark, make some units. Even if I don't attack you, be prepared in case I do. Do we actually have SCVs to repair this barracks, though? Okay, just about. Fire going to come in. Some Overlords, free pickings. Going to turn into the Roaches. I tell you what, Roaches will die quickly with these few Marauders involved. It's actually going to make a pretty big impact as we trade out. We pull over to the sides. We're going to kill a couple more Overlords again. The Lings come back home, and this bio will go down. I honestly don't hate that for Dark, because to me that just feels like a pretty reasonable trade out. Didn't think that was all too crazy. That's still coming up, just seeing the +1 attack upgrade coming through from ByuN. ZvT is going to be finishing up shortly. We do have our lair halfway done as well. And the few extra queens and roaches still popping on out. Well, it's actually turned into a bit of a standardized situation, right? 50 to 45 workers at the moment. Pretty even, pretty much where you'd want it to be. I was still worried a bit about, Dark's tech. Yeah, it was absolutely a little bit of a situation here where I kind of still feel like the tech is going to be heavily in favor of ByuN. The only problem is he doesn't have the starport yet. Once he gets medevacs, the drop play is likely going to be very difficult for Dark to keep up with, and that's where we're going to really see Dark's defense tested. If he can provide a good defense at that point in time, I really could see Dark having a very good day of this, so I guess we'll see what happens. The Roaches moving around the left, going to come back across to the right a little bit. The Queen's continuing over, missiles, carapace, roach speed, all still producing. The factory is going to go landing down on the tech lab now, and a couple more medevacs also producing. Still another armory on the way out as well, as the Lings running in. It's going to get shot down immediately by the Marines. And a few SCVs continue to transfer over toward the third base. Gets another little pick off, just seeing a few Marines still continue to produce out. Medevac going to come forward and lift up, and away we go. Two Medevacs up to the top right side of the map here. Making some progress over to the other side as we get going. Roach Ravager still in production. And missiles, carapace. All this being brought up, just seeing our pathogen glands also coming through. We got our Queen's going to get dropped on top of here. ByuN is getting in on top of them and trading pretty well. But the units were in position. This is where it's going to get interesting because you got ByuN pushing at the front as well. I like the pathogen glands. I like the infestors because I think what the infestors allow you to do here is obviously, you know, get a good money fungal or so. Could go a long way. That kind of stuff could be really, really cool as you see our bio falling back down on the south. Two still building. Factory coming in. And a couple tanks still just sieging up the front. Well, this really does start to kind of develop into a much longer game here between these two. Still seeing the much later stages of this develop as grab an Overlord. Obviously, creep spread is quite minimal. It wasn't a strong opening from Dark, so creep's almost always going to be lacking compared to what you might usually expect. Actually got a fungal there, no follow-up biles though. One of the main positions I think the creep is going to be lacking in is this central area here. You know, if the Terran can get here, hits up to that high ground, push into this base, that position is extremely powerful. You see that a lot of the time being kind of the money spot for the Terrans, be exactly where the Terran wants to play forward from. So that might be one of Dark's bigger issues, given a little bit of time progressing here. Yo, Port, thank you so much for the 67-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Oh, Fungal ready to go down. Fungal is actually pretty decent. Can we get the tanks to kill off the Infestors at all? Yeah. That was all the Fungals, by the way. The Infestors now out of energy. I thought there'd be more, but it was pretty limited. ByuN is going to keep pressing forward. This position I just talked about. Well, it's got a little bit of creep spread onto it, but the active tumors will be knocked down, and ByuN can set up here. This drop from earlier. Coming back in, drop on the left side, coming back in too. Going to get a Queen, going to work on the Rotro, and just force Dark to pull units in different places. We do not have Hive Tech yet, and obviously Hive is usually very good for helping to deal with the tanks. And ByuN really is starting to go everywhere, moving up, and that is the Hive right there, by the way. That is not a great position to have to hold, because like I said, it's one of the bases that may be more easily taken down as ByuN goes into multiple positions, taking down 12 drones already, putting pressure on Dark in many ways. And Dark's fourth base alone might just be going down. That, you know, in itself is a massive victory for ByuN. ByuN just kind of explodes with a series of attacks. Bam, 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 and Dark takes a few punches to the face. Well, that left side base coming up will have to be Dark's new fourth, although only 55 drones left in play here. Hive at least will get finished. But can he even afford at this point to get a couple of Vipers out? Probably not. First tank gets Bile down. Bio pushes up this ramp. We do have the Fungal. We try and lift up away from it, and to be fair, he lifts up everything that he could. The Fungal doesn't catch much. ByuN will just keep on pressing forward. Tanks, it's kind of weird. They don't want to get too close. Because if they get too close, obviously the Ravagers just pile them down for free from the high ground, but you do want to try and get a bit more of a lock on this ramp, so you're kind of playing that kind of in-between with where you put your tanks far forward, a bit further back. In a way, it's a little bit of a guessing game as our Marines gonna have to hold back there. That Fungal was predicting those Marines to run backwards, and they just didn't. Still caught a little bit, but nothing too meaningful. And Infestors are going down too. They've been nuked down by tanks a few times over at this point. 5 Infestors dead in the game. This is a good fungal growth on the Medivacs that try to split away. Some of the Medivacs do get biled down. Ravagers from the backside, I just don't feel like are going to be enough against these siege tanks. They're going to probably have a bad time, but the Fungals on the front are doing okay. The problem is it's basically only Ravagers left over, and just the tanks that are left are doing a lot of work. GG is called, and ByuN is going to pick up game 1 of the best of 5. In the top left-hand corner, we will start things off with the blue Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion. This is ByuN. He's up 1 in this best of 5 grand final. Bottom right, our red Zerg. Dragon KZ Gaming's Dark. Obviously, both these players qualify for the Spring Championship by making the finals today. Obviously, still fighting for the $200 extra prize money for finishing first and extra WardiTV points that will help you get seeded throughout the season into more WardiTV events. Because I'm just going to have to BLB a moment. I think Ellie wants me to take her out quickly. So I'm just going to be right back. I'll come back with some more casting in just a few moments. I will just put someone's camera on. I'll be back in 2 or 3. She's just a bit ill, so I just want to make sure she's seen too. Be right back. Sorry guys, Ellie just wanted to play. At least that's what I can tell. She took me to her toys and was like, play with me! So for being not very well, she seems to be doing just fine. So I'm going to try and play with her from the desk while we get going here. With a little bit of a Reaper, just harassing some lings, very standard kind of dance around for the moment. I wouldn't say there's anything super crazy about this. Ripper gets another couple lings. Queen gonna drop an inject down. A couple more marines coming out of the barracks, factory, tech lab. All the good stuff. Still coming up fun in a moment here. You guys want Ellie cam? I can try and give you guys Ellie cam. I'm not sure how successful it will be. You guys know what she's like. Very quick Ellie cam, as she is here trying to make friends. She hasn't noticed, guys. She didn't notice yet. She was just getting a toy. She's out of here. All right. I appreciate you guys putting up with the quick VRB. We do have our stim pack coming through, second racks. 2-on-1 just in general here from ByuN is going to be our opening build orders. Just getting that underway, and Reaper and the Queen are going to go up against each other for a few moments as well. A little bit of fighting. Away we go. Feel better, Ellie? She definitely looks like she's feeling fine. Just causing trouble, isn't she? It's like, play with me, play with me. No, play with me. Look, I'm okay. What do you mean I'm ill? I don't remember being ill. Alright, Stimfact coming up, obviously, at least not much going on in the game, like I say, just the 2-1-1 is kind of what we're waiting on. Dark with 4 Overlords. I get out of supply block. Well, nearly lost this one as well. We'll lose this one with the scan. There's going to be one more Overlord going down. So the first Overlord had finished, actually didn't quite get you out of supply block. The second one does, though. And now some lings begin to build. As ByuN already progressing onto the map, we'll have the medevacs to follow up, and it's absolutely looking to be a little bit aggressive as our marines come forward. Overlord taking some shots. And just see now Reaper coming in from the left-hand side. Might get a little bit more done here. There's a few extra lings popping out. Bailing Nest coming in. 8 more drones in production. Lings running still through to the center. Our medevac coming forward. Just going to go lift up these few marines. Take those on a bit of a journey. And yeah, these lings obviously want to trade, but the extra marines will say no to that. Now a Baneling Nest going to finish. Banes don't usually necessarily, end up being required, but yeah, I mean, obviously against a higher marine count, generally you do want the Banes, so it's not bad to have it for the future. My main concern is that this is just no Evo chambers, a very late left from Dark. I mean, we're going to be talking about a long time before Dark sees upgrades or Baneling speed, so it really feels like it's going to be tough for him to continue defending against large Terran attacks. that will typically come in this game as time keeps on passing by. So, yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that, honestly. As yo, Ian M7, just quickly before anything else happens, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs to Zelly, SC2, Sturmgod, Once a Moose, Carter J. Wallace, and Adams Spam. Get some love in the chat for the gifted subs. Our first of our month. The first of the month. Thank you so much. This doesn't look good for Dark, man. Running these Lings in through choke points to try and get a wraparound on Marines, and when you do start taking a decent fight, the Terran's just going to be like, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Not allowed. It's not happening. And these Marines just come back in now, and, well, Queen at least will eat a transfusion, but all the other units are really not having a good time. This has turned out to be a little disastrous, my friends. This really isn't working well at all. See now our Ling's coming back through. Just going to work their way through this set of rocks. We do have ourselves the drones continue to mine away. SCV is just going to go to the third. Just going to see our melee upgrades, mainly speed, all of that continues set up for the moment. Means continue through, Medivacs continue to get set, just coming in, and seeing a little bit of Ling Bane going around that right hand side. Marines coming over, and just seeing how Ling Bane continue to get established here for the moment. The Marines is going to stim on straight through, and just going to see how Baneling is going to come straight on it as well. Really looking to get a catch there, but not quite able to. And those couple depots continue to come on out. We do see the 30 Lings in production here as Dark continues to get his melee upgrades going. That tree is about to complete again. Lings is coming up. Our melee upgrades continuing in. 1-1 upgrades also about to finish up as our +1 vehicle weapons is also coming through. Our Marines just trying to get back into the Medivacs. Just jumping back in there. I'm just going to see the rest of this army of ByuN still chilling on the left side. I mean, off of that kind of first flurry of aggression, Dark has stabilized nicely, and seeing the rest of the Ling Bane continue to come around too. All these Lings are going to get nuked, but there is Ling Bane coming from the other side as well, and that's where Dark is going to find his success in this fight, if there will be any. He chases those SCVs, doesn't get many, only 4. ByuN needs to lift up the 3rd CC though, right? Yeah, okay, it had a lot of HP left on it, so it wasn't a rush to do so. Oh, Dark just continuing to pound his way through here. This 1-1 Ling Bane timing. No further upgrades, just going to go all out right now, and ByuN not quite defensive enough to deal with it, and now obviously Ling's in the natural. Now we're going to start seeing a lot of work and damage, and this becomes irrecoverable for ByuN. This becomes pretty much just game, and Dark is, yeah, just going to be able to take this one down. Just going to see how Lings continue to get picked away at. 2 upgrades, +1 vehicle weapons, all of this still coming through. The siege tank will fire on those few Lings. Keep on being nuked. And yeah, just Marines tank continuing down. Lings keep on taking shots. This should be GG's. Dark has too much. And we tie up this series 1-1. Here again, next map. As in the bottom left hand side, it's going to be the Red Zerg and Dragon Kaiser Gaming. It is Dark. Up against the Blue Terran from the Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Alright, Game 3 setting up, guys, and we do have a little adventurous drone on the map. That's a little bit of fun, isn't it? I'm intrigued as to what this is going to be. So a couple of racks coming down the front. There's obviously going to be this kind of just kind of 2 racks Reaper setup. Actually going to be 3 racks. So the drone was just scouting for proxy racks. I was just a little bit distracted. Sorry, guys. I was just giving Helen a quick update on Ellie. Apologies. So I actually was a little bit wondering as to what was going on with the drone. But it was just scouting for proxy racks. It wasn't that exciting. And, yeah, just obviously committing to the scout. A little bit of fun. Again, with the 3rd racks... ByuN, can't believe you missed it. With the 3rd racks, obviously, this is going to be a little bit more pressure-heavy than what we saw before. And it's going to be seeing Reapers at the front continue to pop out here. Obviously, Ancient Sister, not a great map for Terran typically the longer the game goes, but this is going to be him trying to maybe get an advantage off the Reapers and then kind of play it out from there. This Reaper heading down to the south. Coming through, just going to drop a little grenade, blast the drone over to the side. Why is the observer writing? Because he's translating what the players are saying for us, so we can see what they're chatting about. As you have extra Reaper showing up, and Lings will start to drop. I mean, one Ling in the back is hurt as well. So you gotta be careful on this map. There's not an easy way out for the Reapers. Oh my god, I feel like we're playing with fire there. That Reaper was so close to going down. We're just gonna hop back into the main base. That was a bit of a heavy jump, wasn't it? As we move through, Zergling just gonna take some damage. Drone's still taking some shots. Another grenade going down. Reapers blasting the Queens around a little as well. And now going to get the Reapers back onto the Queen for a few moments. Another Reaper hopping up, and one more is about to be arriving as well. Another grenade going down. And the Reapers back off once more. 4 of them still at the front, full of HP. With a couple grenades. My goodness, I'm absolutely convinced we're about to see one of these Reapers die, but so far not the case. Of course, with it being 3 racks, we've got that little bit more pressure than before as well. Reaper's just going to go back onto the hatchery. Just going to see the barracks lifting off, building the reactor in the next few moments. Reapers continue to go pinging away. Ling speed coming through. We do have ourselves this hatchery in trouble. I mean, the 3rd hatch is something you can't often hold on against 3 racks Reaper, and that definitely seems to be the case right now. That hatchery is in a ton of trouble. And these Reapers are going to absolutely make sure that they can take that down. So hatchery will fall. Again, Ling speed still coming through here. We do have our couple of reactors still coming in. Factory continue to produce, and just seeing our stim pack also being made for a couple of moments. This Reaper hops up. Rest of the Reapers hopping in as well. Queens coming through. Reapers just jump out of there. One Reaper taking some shots, getting pushed away for the moment. Reapers back around the left side. Stimpack still coming through. We'll see. This is our transition out of Reapers into the rest of the bio. With only 2 bases, Dark is kept back and in a little bit of trouble here. Definitely seeming to have the edge so far, as our Reapers will... There's a little bit of a dancing game with the Queens. In and out, back and forth. Queens getting a couple more shots off. Carapace starting now as well. Oh, Reaper's going to get caught. The Ling's coming around the other side. Kind of surprising the Reapers. Uh-oh. How many Reapers end up going down here? Probably a lot of them. Oh, what a great set of grenades. Holy cow. What? How did we only lose 3 Reapers? That was insane. Those grenades were, like, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they were just so well placed to keep the Lings bouncing and bopping around and not actually able to do anything else. That is actually a ridiculous play. That is absolutely just ridiculous, honestly. That's just crazy. Okay, cool. Right, okay. Nice knowing you guys. Okay, well, this wasn't as cool, but the first cool play with the Reapers was really cool. As this time, ByuN loses out on them. But he's got plenty of bio up on the follow-up, I would say. His setup here is still looking, obviously, very comfortable overall. Would not say that he's in too much trouble or anything. As 3 Marines actually just already rallying out, and Alien Nest only just getting started. Carapace upgrade on its way will probably not be done before +1 attack of the Terran. It's about 20-second difference, right? So, yeah, it's going to be in the Terran's favor, that +1. I actually think this time is going to be kind of scary for Dark to deal with right now. He's just going to stem on forward. Like I say, there's not a lot here immediately from Dark, as just going to have the Lings kind of melting pretty quickly. Queens obviously have the longevity of the transfusions. ByuN just pulls back, trying to work off of creep a little bit. Gives Dark a chance to at least get more Lings out. We're going to jump into the main base, go away from the Queens. But the Lings need to kind of get here ASAP, because if the Lings aren't here in good numbers, these Marines are going to overwhelm. Stem forward again, rest of these Lings running through. Marines are going to load back up into the medevacs, boosting out over to the right side again. Marines unload once more. 10 drones in production, melee upgrade coming through. Combat shield, +1 armor. We'll continue to produce. Our spine crawler just going to re-establish in the center as well. Bigger push from ByuN, and obviously again, just the start of this game looks so good for him. Looks as though we're going to keep these units coming, and Marines and tanks will begin to work their way through the rocks, begin to work our way through this in general. Again, the Lings, the Banes all coming up here, knock down these rocks, and just start getting out to the bottom left side. Lings obviously on the map. Potentially can come in and surround here if nothing else. I mean, the tanks might be in some trouble. You're going to see ByuN pulling back. He's going to be very quick to get back to protect his tanks. Banelings do not get anywhere close to the Marines. And again, these Lings will not be enough. This is now a critical mass of Marines, and they're just going to clean up house. No problem at all. The Queens will not stand a fight here. And Dark is going to lose his map pick again, and puts ByuN up 2-1 in this grand final. And this time, there are SCVs going onto the map. In the top right corner, our red Terran player, it is ByuN. He's actually not going on the map. He's just going to the low ground to build the depot and the barracks and the wall, as we've seen before in this game, in this series. We'll see what he does then, as we have in the bottom left corner, our blue Zerg player. This is Dark from Dragon ByuN Gaming. If the Banes don't hit, what other option is there? You could potentially not fall super far behind early in the game. Could be a call. Could have Baneling speed for the first time the Marines are pushing you, some creep spread. I think there's a lot of ways to make that Baneling force work, right? Do I still get monies if you have 2 streams open and you watch something else? Yeah. As long as you count as a viewer on this stream. Should absolutely. All we need you to do is count as one of those viewer numbers. It's been incredible today as well, by the way. 2,500 people here for our finals of a cup. It's a little small tournament. Thank you so much, guys. You're awesome. Again, you guys make these tournaments possible. Thank you. 3 racks, the choice again from ByuN. So just going to go for more of the same. We'll see what what differences Dark can kind of go for this time around. As we'll try and switch it up a little bit here. You see a couple of Reapers hanging out on that high ground. And yeah, Swarm Bull hatchery, all of that coming in. Drone on the way out as well. Bringing all of that through for the moment. A couple extra Reapers on the way out. Queens and Lings still being produced. First Reaper already heading down to the bottom left-hand corner of the map, so there is the Roach Roaring this time from Dark. A very different approach to this defense. We'll see what ByuN can do against those Roaches. Obviously, really usually depends on kind of getting grenades off, keeping the Roaches back as long as possible, and just trying to buy yourself as much time as you can here. As this Reaper jumps around, Lings will continue to take damage. Reaper's going to come back over around to the bottom side. Just seeing our Roaches, our Reapers all continuing up, and just having the few Reapers continue to ping their way through that hatchery for a few moments. So just getting some damage done there. The Queens continue down this ramp. 5 Roaches producing in the tech lab, just about to finish up on one of those barracks so we can start building Marauders. That's going to be a very important part of this as the Reapers go for the cancel on the 3rd hatchery. Good way to keep Dark at bay, if you can get the cancel here successfully. Let's see. The Roaches continue forward. Reaper getting nabbed. Reapers continue through. Another grenade. Roaches just continuing to dance around, and if you do lose one, like I say, this is buying time though, so that if the Roaches counterattack, you have the Marauders at home. Bunker in front of your production structures here as well. Helps to buy time for your Warlock to stay alive, and that's obviously important because that's a lot of your production, so it's something we actually see a lot out of ByuN in this kind of Reaper kind of play, this Reaper opening. Yo, RichieMc85, thank you so much for gifting us up to Naruto. Thank you for the generosity. Both reactors. Just continuing up, CCs continue in. We do have our setup continuing for the moment as we just have our Stimpback coming in, Queen on the way through, a couple Overlords coming out. Ravagers in the center going to grab one Reaper already. Honestly, this is the moment Dark's been kind of building towards getting across the map here, but that forward bunker will slow him down. And again, we got a bunch of Marauders. They jump out trying to catch the Ravager. I thought he might have gotten a shot off then. It probably would have died. But at least force Dark to turn around and fight. We still got Reapers poking across the other side, also looking to see if they can find any success here. Reaper's going to turn back up the right-hand side. Bunker going to salvage, get some money back. Marines are just continuing through. And the Reapers getting back into the center, trying to see what will happen. Stimpback's about to be done as ByuN begins to press out onto the map, heading down to the bottom left. Ten Lings, Ling speed. All of that continuing through for the moment. Our Marines, our Marauders come back around to the right. Yo, RichieMc85, thank you so much for the £8 donation as well. Sub gift, £8 donation. Thank you so much for the generosity. I really appreciate it. And ENM7 gifting us sub out to Ronin Naruto. Ronin Naruto, thank you so much. I thought it was me. Oh, I see. Well, now it is. Thank you so much for the generosity, guys. Appreciate it. Green's going to grab the Overlord, as we do have Lingsby coming up. Dark with the quadruple Evo chamber, guys. I think he just forgot he built the first two already, so has to cancel those. He realizes pretty quickly. Does cancel them. And he's going to go into those missile upgrades, continue into this Roach play for the moment. So Roach play is our initial investment. Just seeing our couple Queens coming over. Hatchery taking some damage. And in the end on, so it's a little bit low, but nothing too serious. These Reapers have been lurking for a long time. About time they probably die, but they're going to hop to the high ground, and that's the beauty of ByuN's Reapers. They almost always have an escape plan. And find another Overlord, and that's going to supply block Dark as well. This obviously adds up. A game where Dark again is going to have limited creep, quite a late fourth. He's just going to drop the infestation pit down, and he's going to go from there, see what he can do, see if it's going to be enough for him. Infestation pit, of course, get those infested out, get some fungals. I really felt like the fungals back on that previous game were really going to be quite substantial. Back on Grezvan, they never really hit. Like, there was a couple of good fungals, but they were quite minimal for the most part. Just seeing our medevacs pull around the left-hand side, unloading a group of Marines over here. I'm just going to stem those forward. Creep thread will be coming through, so Marine's just going to be able to come straight through for this. Roach is coming forward. Medivacs do load up the Marines. They're going to boost down the left side. And just going to be seeing the Queens there to immediately grab some damage on the Medivacs. Push those back. Pathogen Glands is about to be done. 6 Infestors still being produced. And see now 1-1 missile upgrades continuing up as well. They've just now finished. Guns again onto the map. We'll see what he can do. We see a very fast hive coming out of Dark, so going to get that established straight away. Get that hive underway. 6 Infestors continuing to build. Yo, the Taminian, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. Cheering on some ByuN action here. Thank you so much for the generosity, and let's see if your cheer for ByuN can see him to victory. ByuN's actually supply blocked right now. He just, I think, must have called down a depot unless I was just looking at the wrong place at the wrong time. Ooh, there's a first fungal that does very well. Follow-up fungal not even necessary. We do lift a few of the units up and away. Maybe a follow-up fungal could have got a couple of extra kills, but good start for Dark, leaping onto that army of ByuN, and ByuN continuing to tanks. One of the big differences this time is that there's going to be a hive done, and there will be Vipers available for Dark before there's any super serious tank push really going on, and I think that makes a massive difference compared to what we saw earlier, when there was just no Vipers really available at all. They just haven't been able to be brought out or anything. So yeah, that definitely seems like it'll make a pretty big difference. As our Medivacs still in this bottom left corner, just chilling there. We scan out into the main. The Spore Crawler going to relocate ever so slightly. Seeing Lings, Ravages continue to move around. Tanks and bio units continuing to set up as well. And Ravager now moving over the left, right-hand side. Just going to be seeing a couple of a couple of Spores and Queens, and some shots off. And Medivac's taking some damage. We're going to knock down both those full Medivacs. Massive loss for ByuN. Tons of supply dropping down in an instant there. Things run forward. They will grab a Marine in the front. Of course, ByuN leads this series. Final map. What is the final map? What's the one we haven't seen? Neo Humanity final map. It'd be a fun final game if we did go to Game 5. That was a, yeah, as Twitch chat says, a bad F2 for sure. That was definitely a bit of an F2 moment. Can't disagree with that one. Ghost still coming up. Lib's on the way. The Bioforce coming back around the other side, just going back through the top a little bit. 2-2 melee upgrades continuing up. Neural Parasite, Adrenal Glands, all of this continue to build at the moment. Our Ultra Cavern also coming into play. As Roach Ravager comes forward and goes towards those couple of depots. A couple of corrosive files will be coming down. And our Marines getting hit by that. Supply of ByuN drops quite heavily. Ling Bane going to run up to the top side. Into this base we go, and well, going to jump on a lot of the siege tanks here. We will look to obviously knock down the base and the SCVs. Oh, we don't get the base. I feel like that's a mistake. Leaving the planetary alive. ByuN is in a position where realistically replacing command centers is not immediately easy. He doesn't have a ton ready to go. I felt like those Banes kind of turned into an army and just died anyway when they could have turned into the CC and got that kill. I don't know, I feel like, I mean, he definitely could have had the base. I think he consciously chose not to get it, but usually the base is just one of the absolute must-haves when you take trades like that. So, yeah, like I say, I mean, it was kind of seemed like a choice from Dark, but I'm not convinced it's the right one. But that's just my kind of, yeah, you know, general knowledge kind of talking. It might be like Dark in this situation just says, oh no, it's fine for me to try and get those units. But maybe he thought it was fine if he got those units, but he didn't get them, right? So maybe that was the problem. Dark instantly rebuilds, but ByuN is going to get maxed out as well, so this is going to be a bit of a standoff right now. Hatchery goes down on the gold. Hatchery also goes down in the bottom corner. Spire on the way out. A few Overseers being brought in. Overlord Speed also coming out here. And just seeing our +3 Carapace and our +2 melee continue to come up right now. Seal will move forward. Another siege tank pressing in as well. Ghost just continuing to sit at the front, and again, Ravages and Festers, everything being sent around the center. We do have our Anabolic Synthesis, I was trying to think of the name. The Ultra Speed upgrade on the way. That's what that little one is. So, again, the Ultra is a little bit of a speedier setup. Obviously allows them to just run around a bit faster. Helps to catch the ByuN units sometimes. Lots of ghosts out. I don't really want to see too many Ultras, if I'm honest. It's one of those upgrades which kind of suggests we're going to build them, but with this amount of ghosts, I'm not sure we really want them. We've already got, you know, some tech, you know, some spellcasters out, and a lot of the time that's kind of what you want to aim for. We will see tanks firing away, and Parasitic Bomb gets dodged away. Obviously, the Ghost doing a good amount of damage here, and the tank fire has been brilliant. Tank's getting a lot of damage dealt there, and just not really any spellcasting able to come down. No fungals to lock this in place. The single Parasitic Bomb was pretty much all we saw. Good trade from ByuN, good hold out in the front forward base. Great Spire on the way. Obviously, we build our way towards Broodlords, but ByuN starts to set up into the Thors to kind of deal with that as well. And we're going to start getting to the point here as well where Neural Parasite's going to be important. You know, maybe catching a Ghost and EMP another Ghost, or just Neuraling a bunch of Thors. All these things can be pretty notable and absolutely, you know, plays you want to make. Gonna drop a bunch of changelings with these Ghosts as well. Tank shot or two on the right-hand side, knocking down a few Zerglings as well. Bane's up to the top, going to make a play forwards. The Bane's Lings coming forward here. We'll have a Blinding Cloud coming down. Well, you can see the SCVs pulling to the back, trying to force the Banes to go as deep as possible to get the kills. Honestly, some of the SCVs even survived that, which is kind of impressive. I guess that's kind of why you do it. We're going to replace that planetary with an orbital. Now you can lift up in the future as Biles. Do not cancel the snipes and the Ghosts in time. The fungal was way off. And actually going to gain finding some insane value. 14.2 to 10k resources lost, so 4k difference. Keep that in mind because we'll keep on checking in on resources lost at this stage of a TvZ, and generally, you know, the more we see, the more we kind of discuss it. Seeing now a few units pressing to the front once again. As the Hellbats, the Ghost, the Thor, all of this still coming out. Infernal Pre-Ignite is about to finish too. Bringing all of this up. Just gonna grab a Crypt Teamer at the front line. Army of Dark ready to swarm at the front again. Tank fire to start us off. He's going to start coming through. We hit an EMP to try and stop any Viper casting. Well, let's see what these Banes can do. The Ghosts continue to pull back. Some of them even lift into Medivacs. Again, Dark is just losing a lot of units here. Extremely expensive. He's going to get a few SCVs on the top side. 17 workers going down, but again, massively expensive. And 140 Lings is the rebuild. It's only turned into a 5k resource loss difference, so it's only about 1,000 resources lost worse in that specific fight compared to, you know, again, just comparing to the number I mentioned before. Keeping our eyes on that. Ghost, Thors, CC all coming through. Nuke is about to complete. We just have a couple of Liberators sieging up across the top side of the map. Still trying to protect that base. We're trying to get our top left corner base up from ByuN as well. Right now, Dark still hasn't decided it's the moment to start building into Broodlords or anything. And he wants to get a bit more out of this. This time the fungal lands on the Ghost, and this should go down to some of those Banelings. That was a nice catch immediately. A Neural Parasite on a Siege Tank here as well, taking away the splash damage that's meant to help against these Banes that keep on rolling forward. This time ByuN's supply drops a little bit more heavily, a bit more seriously. Well, fungal still coming down. We do see 32 dead SCVs. The base going down as well. This time ByuN's supply has plummeted and beyond. It is absolutely taken out of this game, and I think at this stage we can say that this is likely going to be a victory waiting for Dark now. I mean, ByuN rebuilding from this is going to be tough because he lost a lot of army and SCVs in sync. Again, look at the resource loss now, down to a 3k difference. ByuN's not been trading well enough. I was doubtful about that mass of Lings, but all the Banelings actually made it work, so it looks as though we are on the verge of going to game number 5. Playing Bane from the left side, coming through the top. Ghosts and Hellbats coming in as well. Just seeing some of these Lings from the bottom. In we go. Banelings crashing through. A lot of these Banes getting some shots off. Tank getting neural parasited for the moment. We see a couple of Hellbats also coming through. Fungal growths dropping across the board. And we're seeing the rest of our Lings wrapping around. A lot of SCVs starting to drop. GG's. We're going to a 5th and final game between Dark and ByuN today. To the bottom right-hand side with the red Zerg player. And this series tied up 2-2. It is Dark taking on the Blue Terran from the Shopify Rebellion. To the top left, it is ByuN. Game 5 of this series. Again, appreciate that little bit of patience between our maps here. As we get this started up, let's see how we round things out today. As we go for one more round of action. ByuN already on the low ground barracks setup, so he's already going to be putting that Reaper play into action yet again. ByuN's been enjoying his Reapers, and like I say, using it one more time here. As we have RCC popping out an SCV. Hatchery coming up, a couple more drones popping into play as well. And SCV just going to come wandering out a little bit, get that second Rex down. Are we going to go 3 racks or just the 2 racks? I suppose becomes that question now. I think maybe just the 2 racks kind of approach would be reasonable. And again, ByuN's shown us just how good and versatile this build is. Showing us the ability to do very different things with it as, says Dark. And he's like, wow, the proxy racks. Oh, that's not good. That's some lag. Is that my ping going up? No, my ping's coming back down, so that might just be something going on. As you see, Overlord coming through. A couple of Reapers are on the way out. And a couple of drones, hatch gas pool, all building on the side of Dark as well. Getting that up and running. Well, Dark is obviously going to spot the fact this is Reapers. Again, it is just the 2 barracks, so Dark will also be able to see the CC timing. That will tell him it's not a 3rd barracks as well, so that little bit of additional information goes a long way in the near future when that CC does go down. So that's nice to know. It is a Roach Roar and immediately a gain here from Dark, so gets that set up once again. If it comes in, gets shot off on a couple of the Lings and just starting a little bit of damage initially. And Lings do get the Reaper to kind of bounce back. Obviously, extra Reaper about to show up. And we're just building into that Roach Roar and see what these Roaches can do. As ByuN will not keep committing in here just yet. No 3rd hatchery from Dark. No attempt of that this time around. Like I say, just all out into the Roach Roar. And it's about to finish, and we will have access to build a ton of Roaches all at once. Now Reaper hops up into the main base. Lings come back over the side. Reaper will escape back away up the right side, getting out of there as well. Reapers, Queens kind of staring each other down at the front. A couple of Roaches popping out, and the Reapers do have to take a step back. We do get that first bunker on the way, and we talked about this before, the need for this micro to be on point from ByuN. He actually gets a Roach kill. I felt like these Reapers were just hammering the Roaches. Did they get like a Marauder upgrade or something? Put some Marauder shots into these Reaper grenades? Ay. Well, that's a great start as we do, again, separate the Roaches. Oh my god, the Reaper grenades have been great. This time we have the gas to morph in a Ravager. And we will save it. ByuN has the bunker up, by the way, so again, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. He should be all right back over here. He's been waiting for this Ravager, though, and a grenade to pop it backwards. Is he going to get it? Yes, he is! What a play. Catches the Ravager on the end of its morph. Hey, that's that Ravager morph time nerf, man. Takes longer for it to get going, and the other Roaches left it alone. What a play by ByuN. That was really cute. That was really sick. Damn. I don't think I've ever seen someone do that. Like, come back around to kill off the... I mean, how often do you see Reapers taking on a Roach Rush, I guess, but... Yeah, that was really cool. This Reaper does go down, but obviously you've kind of completely nullified the threat of these initial Roaches, so that's kind of out the window already. You know, that's already a pretty good feeling. As Gleesa CP, thank you so much for the 16-month resub today. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Couple Queens still coming through. Drones, Overlords. All producing, we'll see our Cyclone. Still wandering around up on the top sides. Gonna have a kill on this Overlord, by the way. So just gonna grab that nice and quickly. Take that down. Take that out. Stim pack is still continuing up. Cloaking also on the way through for ByuN, so bringing that Banshee play through now. It's kind of fun, right? Because if you actually play Banshees here, is it really expected? Not really, because you're playing Stim quickly on the front. He's going to cancel the cloaks. Maybe just a fake out in case of an Overlord scout. I was going to say, like, it definitely doesn't, like, make a lot of sense, which is maybe why I was, like, ready for it to make sense. It's like, well, cool trickery, but he also didn't have the gas to necessarily afford it while also going in towards engineering bays and upgrades and stuff, right? Well, Cyclones continue to come around. Medevac loads up. Cyclone's going to lift off. Away they go. Feeling around the sides. Your random chat. Thank you so much also for the 6-month resub. Mostly just the Cyclones defensively against the Roaches at first were never really needed. So now just going to put them in the medevac and move them around. Gets an Overlord kill. ByuN definitely being the bully at the start of this game. Stim's about to be done for him. 3 more barracks coming in. 3rd CC is on location. And you got to love this start if you're a ByuN fan. It's been incredible for you so far. It's been really, really good. Cyclone's coming through. A couple more lanes getting picked off and getting the Roaches over to the side. Just going to keep that medevac at bay as well. So making sure it can't get up to too much else. And 1 more upgrades. Our combat shields. Obviously, ByuN happy to see any of these additional upgrades finishing. Really gives them a much better shot at the game. Cyclones is going to be trying to fight against those Roaches. Roaches able to deal some shots there. It's going to knock that hatchery onto the low ground, so you got a 4th base coming up. Again, ByuN just nice and active. A few Marines on the left side, going to clean out the watchtower, pull away on the Roach, so we keep the Roach alive. Move, of course, from Dark to keep note of what's going on. And units to send him to the front. Lots more Roaches, missile upgrades, Ling speed, all producing right now. We get these medevacs unloading back to the upper side of the map. As we have our game taking a few moments to settle down. And Dingle, SC2. Thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. Long live SC2, hell yeah, man. Knocking down some rocks, opening up the area a little bit. Obviously, Doc is kind of okay with that because it gives him some faster attacks across with these Roach timings. 66 drones, Roach Ravager in production. This is a heavy commitment here from Doc. I'm not sure it's going to work, man. ByuN has one of his own. ByuN has a lot of siege tanks. I don't see this really working out. The Cyclones here spot some of the Roaches coming in. It's going to start being attacked from the other side as well. Marines are going to run into that right-hand side. We knocked down 1 tank with the initial Ravager bars, but man, the other 3 tanks still going huge. Is there just enough Roach Ravager here, though? Can we keep on pushing through? We're going to get bars for 1 more siege tank. No, actually only took 2 of the 3 bars necessary for the kill. That's a hold from ByuN. He'll lose a few SCVs, but the initial just fact it's a hold is massive. Ravagers retreat away to the bottom right. We do have the 2-2 upgrades from ByuN continuing along, plus 1 vehicle weapons. Finishing shortly as well. Station pit halfway through. It's Ravagers still producing. A little bit of Bio fighting away. Just seeing our Ravagers, our Roaches continuing to trade. Obviously, the Bio has the ability to just lift up and get out, so you're happy to come forward and trade actively. Again, Dark was on 66 drones going into this, but he has droned up heavily following that. As this army of Dark still sits out the front. A couple of transfusions coming down. Hive building, Bailey Nest coming through, and again, a couple more Infestors just being produced. Obviously, that's been, yeah, you know, the Infestors have been a mixed bag of success, right? There's been parts of the games where they've been really good, and they've not always been just the absolute heroes that sometimes they can be. But obviously, it is good to have them. They are going to give Dark some extra options here. They should make life in general a little bit easier for Dark, so... Biles fly up in the sky, actually take down a couple medevacs here. Marine's going to have to pull back. Another tank going down. Marine's stepping forward again, and oh man, the Roaches are just getting decimated. And now the Ravagers, well, you never want to see Ravagers on their own. They just die too quickly, so we did just about get them back to creep spread, but ByuN was happy to take a couple down with him. Army keeps on pressing forward. Tanks and Bio down the right side, wanting to get into position over here as we have, well, creep spread being knocked down. A couple of Queens getting some shots off. Queen's taking a lot of damage. Infestor, I was thinking he was going to find a fungal there. Maybe didn't have the energy. So many siege tanks is going to be the issue. We really right now need a Viper and a Blinding Cloud. It's a great fungal growth, man. Without those fungals, you would have been dead. This time the fungals are huge as ByuN maybe getting a little bit overeager. Can he hold on? The tanks are still hammering away at this Zerg army, not letting it come on through this gap, and ByuN 2-2 upgrades as well, helping him to trade well here, and it is enough. ByuN takes it 3-2. He is your champion of the WardiTV Spring Fling. ByuN getting